And here is the first of your loot. I'd also, just before I walk down, want to thank all these sponsors and organizations that contribute to all this stuff up here. This is really a great thing, and we so appreciate all of the folks who've contributed to that. As I look down through the list of contributors, I'm just really heartened to see so much support from so many local businesses. So I just want to say on behalf of the Kennewick School District, we really thank you for all that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Next, from Kiona-Benton School District, we have Superintendent Ram Castilleja.
Good afternoon. And again, thank you to the committee and to all of the supporters of this program. It truly is an honor. And I'm really amazed to be able to stand here next to Ken and thank him for the time that he's put in Kiona-Benton School District. Can you imagine how many young lives you can impact when you've been in a high school for 39 years? When you've been teaching in the same community for 39 years? When you've been the senior class advisor for 39 years? We've estimated that Mr. Jones has impacted over 4,000 students with the time that he spent in Kiona-Benton. And not just any kind of teaching that goes on in Mr. Jones's classroom, but the kind of teaching that has gained the admiration and respect of both students and staff. He has truly made a difference in our schools. Ken Jones is an individual who demonstrates excellence in every aspect of education, whether it's in the classroom, as a class advisor, or on the athletic field. In his years at Kaibi High School, he has pushed and encouraged students as they've learned the social studies skills necessary to be successful in the world. Students often comment that Mr. Jones is tough, but in the same breath, they say, we love his class. What makes Ken the teacher that he is? He sets high standards for his kids. He expects students to be prepared, to think on their own, to demonstrate that they've mastered concepts. He expects them to be informed and contributing members of society when they leave Kaibi High School. It's Ken's passion and drive for excellence that sets him apart. It's not always easy to get every single student interested in foreign affairs, the separation of church and state, or the finer points of law. But Ken's stimulating teaching does that. He knows how to inspire students to do their best. I'd like to pass on a few comments from a couple of students who are taking one of Ken's classes right now. Mr. Jones' main focus is to help students better themselves and is always looking for opportunities to help them succeed. It's clear when you walk in his classroom that he expects you to stay on track and get your work done in the right way. And from another student, I wasn't very excited to learn about current problems since I was never much of a news watcher, but thanks to Mr. Jones, I came to really enjoy learning about what's going on in the world outside of the Tri-Cities. In closing, it's all about the students with Ken. What's best for the students is at the center of his mentoring, his coaching, and his teaching. He's a distinguished educator in our field and in the field of education, and it's my honor and privilege to thank him for the time and to appreciate the fact that he's just a young pup and he's going to stick with us. Ken, thank you. And this is for you. Before we leave the stage, I want to recognize his better half, Jean. I saw Jean in the crowd. Would you stand up, Jean? There she is. Thank you. And this is for you. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram. And next, from North Franklin School District, we have Mary Margaret Nipper, who is an administrator there. And I welcome her to the podium.
Good afternoon. One of the highlights of my work as curriculum director is recognizing the outstanding teachers within our district. And so it is with great pleasure for me to introduce one of our outstanding and inspirational fifth grade teachers at Mesa Elementary, Mr. Paul Bagwell. Mr. Bagwell's family is with us today, and I'd like them to stand. Paul, or Mr. B as his students fondly refer to him, has earned the respect of his colleagues, our parents, and of course his students. Ask anyone who has met Mr. B, and the common adjective that you will hear to describe him is enthusiastic. It is Paul's never-ending enthusiasm and encouragement that brings light into everything he touches. Students, teachers, and parents have all witnessed Paul dedicating his free time to help out each student. Whether he is playing basketball with students during recess, sitting down to chat with a parent, or encouraging a student with a simple positive note, Paul is attentive to every aspect of his students' well-being. He is focused and energetic, and he puts students first in all that he does. Paul is one of those rare teachers whose strict classroom management is truly appreciated by his students. His students welcome a structured classroom that makes each individual responsible for his or her learning, while motivating them to succeed. They know that Mr. B is always available to lend an ear and take the time to explain something with which they are having trouble. As one of his students said, Mr. Bagwell will explain any math problem that you have had in a way that makes you understand it. He brings it down to your level so that you are successful and enjoy math. While Room 10 may follow strict rules, it's also a fun environment where each subject is brought to life. During science, Mr. Bagwell is transformed into Dr. Guggenstein. During the long-awaited colony game, King George makes a cameo appearance. Do you wear a wig for that? Yeah. All right. I'll have to go and observe that. While students are building rockets during Rocket Week, Mr. B becomes launch commander. No matter what the subject or activity, Paul manages to engage each student with contagious enthusiasm. He connects to his students in a way that always manages to bring out the best in everybody. Today, it is my privilege to introduce to you one of North Franklin's finest, Mr. Paul Bagwell.
I'll give you that.
Very good.
Thanks.
All right, you can have a
I
speech.
get to keep the speech, right?